Right, what's up guys, how's it going? So a while back, like 6 months or so, I guess like beginning of October last year, I went to Chengdu, and while I was there I met up with one of the OGs of China vlogging, Austin in China. He used to be just on there as Austin Gidry. He since changed his name to Austin in China. Anyway, when I was there, because he's a friend of mine, we met up and we made some videos together. So when I got back, I went to download from the memory card onto my computer, and it told me that the memory card was corrupted. I was like really annoyed because not only were there photographs and other videos, but this particular video I did with Austin also corrupted, so it just wouldn't let me access it. Since then, when I bought my new camera, the A7 III I'm shooting on right now, I bought new memory cards. Thank you very much, Sandisk, for including a free 2-year licensing for the Recover software, which I then used this software on the memory card in question just the other day. It took like 40 minutes, bam, it recovered all the files. So good job, Sandisk, thank you very much. And anyway, I just thought today I would share it with you. It was just a talk about more like life experiences, foreigners' life experiences here in China. Just a general chat about life and our feelings about China. So yeah, if this is something you're interested in, stick around, carry on watching. Here it is now. Today, it's going to be more like a podcast kind of thing. A bit like I did if you follow the channel, like I did with my friend Radio a little while back. Today, got a very special guest here. You probably already know this guy. If you're into watching China content, you must know this guy. He's one of the OGs of here. I can remember when I first started making videos, when I searched for China, I looked up Austin here, and I searched China, and Austin, among other people, all popped up for people that are China content creators. Austin's got a really well-established channel. If you haven't seen it, God forbid, I'll put a link up here, down in the description.
Austin in China.
Austin in China. I always forget your surname. How do you, because it used to be...
It
Austin Gidry, or
it used to be Austin Gidry.
Gidry. Ah, so
See, I changed it because no one could say the name.
I debated for how the...
I'd have to spell it for people, and then I was like, well, why don't I just put Austin in China? Because I would say, you know, if you want to look up my channel, just type Austin China, you'll find me. So
yeah,
there you go.
Exactly
Austin
it. So how about I'm gonna let Austin introduce his channel now for the people that haven't seen it, and maybe refresh the memories of people who do know.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, I started making videos here in China when I came in 2011. I got over here February 23rd, 2011 was my first day here, and I started making videos right from then, and haven't really stopped. I take breaks every now and then, but yeah, so it's been about 7.5 years.
So you've been making videos the whole time?
Yeah, I've got a 330 videos.
Wow. See, I always imagined you've been here a lot longer, because I've been here since 2013, September the 29th, 2013. I had in my mind it being 10 plus years, but yeah.
No, not quite yet. Yeah.
So, me and Austin, although we come from different countries, Austin speaks USA. American, I speak the original English.
Yeah.
And but we both have a lot in common also, because we both have Chinese wives.
Yep.
We've been studying Chinese. Austin a lot more than me. Austin's much higher level. But we both have a very strong interest in Chinese.
Yeah.
Like, we both love, I said to Austin earlier, I could never imagine myself going back and living in the UK, because I like life here so much. And
I said the same thing.
He has the exact same opinion.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe we'd start with just, you know, our China stories. So
sure.
What I wanted to ask you was, how and why did you come to China?
It was sort of like I never really kind of saw myself going to China until university. I had this teacher, this professor named Dr. Summers, and he loved China so much. I had to take his classes for survey of, because I was a history major, so survey of Western civilizations and then Eastern civilizations, and like every single class, no matter what it was, he put China into it somehow, because he was just so excited to talk about China in every way. So like we'd be talking about like Mesopotamia and then he would somehow weave China in there. I'm like, no, we're talking about Mesopotamia.
Yeah.
You know, or like England or South America, or something. And he'd always work China in there somewhere. And so I was like, this China thing must be cool.
Yeah.
So I started looking into it. Then I took one of his proper China classes and got really into it. It was like, you know, there's so much to learn, so much to study. Like, it's a fundamentally different way of looking at history.
So did you study Chinese before you came to China?
No, not really. Like, I did audit a Chinese language class, but I just learned like ni hao, wo yao jika, and
Travel basics.
like super basic. Like I knew like 5 to 10 sentences before I moved here.
Yeah.
That was about it. And I in the months before I came, I got Rosetta Stone.
Yeah,
I got that.
I have it, but I've never used it.
Yeah, it's great for vocabulary, like basic vocabulary. It's like nothing better. But
it's like a repeat.
Yeah, and it's like you figure things out. Like it's immersion. Like, so you know, it shows this picture and you have to guess which word goes with the picture, and then you learn, oh, it's this, and then it's like you figure out.
A bit like the app Scritter or
something like
Memrise.
Memrise, yeah, it's just like that.
Just like Memrise, nice.
So.
Memrise, if anybody is interested, my personal experience from learning Chinese, as well as actually being here in China, I've used Memrise and Scritter, 2 apps. I can link them down below as well. They are great for just when you're on the bus, you've got 5 minutes and you can just brush up on your basics of language. But so you actually planned to come here though. So how long how long between deciding you were going to come to China and actually being in China?
I was like 3 or 4 months. So what had happened was like I kind of got interested in China, and then I was like, well, I can either work really hard and graduate a semester early, or I can graduate on time and take like, you know, my one course that I had left abroad somewhere. I'm going to take that course abroad and do a bunch of electives. I was like, well, the second one sounds much more appealing. Yeah. I don't want to work super hard and graduate early. Like, let's just graduate on time and do something cool.
Yeah.
And I was like, this China thing sounds interesting. Let's figure this out. So I went to the international office and just asked, can I go to China? And they said, well, you can go to this place in Hong Kong, or you can go to this place in Lanzhou. But we've never sent anyone to Lanzhou before. I was like, interesting.
That would have been my choice. So I'll explain why in a minute.
I was like, I didn't want to learn Cantonese. Screw that. And Hong Kong's expensive, crowded, like dirty. Well, it's not dirty. Some parts are, but like I didn't want to go to Hong Kong. And it's like Lanzhou. It's way off in the northwest. Not many English speakers, if any. First ever foreign exchange student. Sounds cool to me.
Yeah.
And it was a really wild experience. And so that took about 3 or 4 months to set up.
Yeah.
So,
wow. So it's very, very, very different to mine. See, with me, I was literally bored at home. It wasn't that life wasn't good in England. I was just, it was the same thing again and again. And I was like, I had this strong desire to go and live in another country, because previous to this I lived in France snowboarding for a year. Snowboarded every day for a year, which was fantastic.
Okay.
And I thought, well, you know, I applied for a few. I just went down a job, the job center website, and I realized you could select cut by country, not by region of England. So I went down from A to Z basically, and just looked for any job that was good, apply, send CV, done. And I didn't really expect anything of it. I got a call back from somewhere in Canada, and I was pumped because I'm a big snowboarder, and it was right near
Canada would be good,
near Whistler, and I was like, this is going to be amazing. But the job was just working in a rock wool, like a rock wool factory, driving a forklift, but the money was good. Then this person phoned up and they're like, hey, you applied for this job in China? Oh, did I? Yeah, can you send a picture of your passport and a full body picture of yourself, and when we can talk. And I did this, and they were like, right, we've got this emergency thing. Someone's run away from the job which they were teaching at. They turned up a month into just under a month into the semester. Do you want this job in Wenzhou? And I was like, where's Wenzhou? Never heard of Wenzhou. When everybody asked me, why did you choose Wenzhou? I didn't. It was just there was a job
It
there.
was a job, yeah.
And so they said, we need you here immediately. So between clicking apply and actually having my first day in the school in China, 2 weeks. I had to pack up my entire life on an entire whim with no previous planning and no previous knowledge. Weirdly enough though, 10 years previous to this, my mum and dad had been to China.
Okay.
Because my mum was a teacher for 25 years until she retired recently, maybe 30 years. And her school had done an exchange with a school in Ningyan, which is in Shandong province.
Okay.
And they'd gone over there for 3 weeks and gone all around there, and it had been fantastic. And then Chinese people, teachers had come over to England. And I never really had a strong interest in any kind of visiting China. But when I had the 2 job offers, the thing was, I looked at it and I thought I can have this job in Canada and go snowboarding, but cultural wise and life wise, it's going to be just the same as here in England.
It is,
I'm trying to get away from here. So I thought, I'm very much I'm A, very impulsive, and B, I work very well if you put me out of my comfort zone. So it was like, if I go to China, it's going to be nothing. They don't have Roman, all their language is in traditional characters. It's not in Romanized alphabet. There's nothing
there's
looks
tones,
the same.
There's new sounds, there's,
even just the layout of life, everything is going to look completely different. And I was like, I like that. I thought that's what is going to interest me. And I've never looked back. I always say it's the best thing I've ever done in my life. From the 3rd day of being in Wenzhou, I was like, this is where I'm settling down. I took to it that easy, and I've never ever looked back.
I remember day 1, and I remember in one of my first videos where I landed in Beijing, and I've just I'm just happy that I'm finally here, and I'm just like, woohoo, like this. And I remember just from like day 1, it was the same sort of thing. Like I knew that this is what I'm gonna end up doing.
I literally couldn't imagine life without living here. It's we all complain and moan a little bit from time to time, but you do that wherever you live. But China is definitely, for me,
Life is good, man.
China is a funny place, right though. You'll know, I guess, from living here longer than I have, that when you're a long-term, long-term expat, you have to get used to like a fluid river of friends, because you're not China. You get people that it's just definitely not for. It's so far beyond what it's like living in the West. They can't handle it and they bail very, very fast. Yeah,
you say goodbye to a lot of people. It's quite sad.
Some people, like a friend of mine who I thought was going to be here forever, he'd lived here for a year longer than I have. As soon as he got married, everything stayed the same. He had a baby, and everything changed because his wife was from somewhere completely different in China, and it made so much more hassle for them that he had enough, and he was like, it will be easier if we go back to America. So they left, and it was, but you have to kind of, I send to my mum just the past few days here, sometimes it's almost like having a death or mourning people, but with having the time to get to say goodbye to them, because...
No, that's exactly what it is. Because I had a recent one this past holiday, because when the summer vacation happens, that's when a lot of people leave because they're teachers, right?
Yeah,
in our university,
end and that's it.
Yeah, our university's got about 33 teachers or something like that in our department.
It's quite a lot.
And we had 8 leave, because they all had different reasons, like family problems or this and that, and and 8 people, and 3 or 4 of them were really good friends of mine.
Yeah.
And it was kind of sad to watch them as the semester kind of was winding down, and you could see them kind of pulling away because they didn't want to build new memories and get too attached, and then but you're like, no, we gotta hang out, we gotta do this, and one of them, we actually we had a lot of one-on-one time. We had a lot of great memories, but yeah, it's you can see you're preparing to say just goodbye, because you'll never see him again, or maybe friend, only 1 or 2 more times in your life you'll never see him.
The thing with my friend Patrick that left, he was when I got married, he was one of my best men. when he got married, I was one of his best men. We both became fathers like months apart. It was, and then it almost doesn't seem real. For months you know about it, like it's gonna happen in 8 months' time. When his contract's up, he's going, but you don't really appreciate until it, and then it comes closer and closer and closer, and it speeds up. But it just puts it into perspective that like in my city is not, I'm not as lucky as here, where I think there's a lot more foreigners.
There's a lot of expats.
I live in a tier 3 city, so it's a lot smaller.
Yeah. I've been there. Yeah, that community you get though with those people in a tier 3 city is really tight.
You get a very good community, but then you've got like a bunch of us that are your lifers, I like to call it.
Yeah, lifers. Yeah.
You get the passing through ones, and you have to get used to living in China, never knowing if they're gonna go home or if something's gonna change, because things change here. That's the other thing I find here is things change so fast.
Yeah, they do.
You can see entire shopping areas.
The only thing that never changes is change. You know? China's never finished. You know, and it's kind of weird. Yeah, it does like test your patience. It does drive you crazy, but it's also strangely addictive. You know, like knowing that, you know, if I leave and I come back in like a month or two, things are going to be really different. Because even when I went to Shanghai for my CELTA course, I remember just coming back after a month, and I was like, oh, this construction's finished. Fantastic. The roads open up, like there's a little park here, and then this, and then when I, you know, I'm seeing this on the way back from the airport, and then when I get closer to my house, it's like, God damn it, there's construction everywhere around my house now. Yeah. It's like, so you win some, you lose some, and then like maybe a shopping center will get knocked down, or they're building up a new one, or, you know, subway stops.
You get used to a completely, like, I think if I went back to England now, I think I would find a lot of it very annoying, or some things I miss from home, some things I really don't. Like, I like here that everywhere has Wi-Fi. When I go back to England, I'm like, God, this is such a bother.
Yeah.
Like, nowhere has Wi-Fi. Even like
everything here's got WeChat Pay, you know, things like that.
You can pay with your phone. I did a video. You see if you haven't seen my video on this, I just put out. Go and watch that. You can do everything with your phone here. I just made a video about this where I just was like, look, I can pay for the bus. I can pay for this. I can get my dry cleaning done and sent out. I can go to the shops and buy all these things. He's back again.
Yeah, like we live in the
come and say hello in my video.
Yeah,
Daddy's video.
There we go.
Everybody meet my son. He can say hello. He's just babies don't understand about videos, but say hello.
Yeah.
Cuteness overload. You're gonna go back with mummy now.
You know, everything is just changing. You know, whether it's your friends or it's the environment around you, or it's like you can see the culture change with things like the technology. You can see the skyline change. You can see.
Yeah.
Everything
you can even see people's minds and policies and what is cool now and what people think is acceptable now will not be in a couple of years' time, or even in a couple of months' time. Life moves here so fast. It's insane, right? But like you said, it is kind of addictive because you're always wondering what the next craze is going to be.
Exactly.
Like, you know, people here. I don't know about here, but Wenzhou is very, very wealthy. It's very famous for very, very rich people. Like a standard car. I have an Audi S3. And that's a very good car in England. But here it's just kind of, you know, it's average. They all drive around in ridiculous cars. But people do work very hard here. But also, because it's a developing and very fast changing country, if you hop onto an idea at the right time, you could make literally more cash than you could stacking massively wealthy overnight by just getting the right idea. And there's some very creative people here in China that do some very creative things that you would think would be boring, but people put this ingenuitive spin on things. Or they do something which you've never even thought about doing.
I mean something even really simple like Mobike. Mobike's a great example because like
never worked in England.
Yeah, it didn't work in England, and it's kind of struggling in the States. But like here in China, I've seen lots of places that have like station bikes. Like there's a specific bike station where you have to park at and you share.
We have that in winter.
Yeah, that's fine. But like the idea of how about we just do a bike without a station?
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, holy crap, let's do it. And then they make just hundreds and millions of yuan just like that.
I mean, it's gone,
and they're winning the war. Yeah, I mean, it has. I mean, it's just an example of how you can make that much money that quickly.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. He's still just popping in and out of
It's like that news reporter, like on CNN, talking about North Korea, and his kid came in the room.
Oh, from the background.
Yeah.
Without me having the same, unfortunately, not having the same sort of audience. Anyway, I think what we're gonna do here is wrap this up, and we're already at like the 20-minute mark. So, Austin, it's been great having you on. I guess I'd like to have you come to Wendell, and we can do one of Austin's shows. If you I'll say it again, if you haven't already checked out Austin's channel, the links are up here or down below. And I don't know on timing, but Austin, well, we've also done a video for Austin's channel, a food-based one, Eat All the Things.
Eat all the things.
If it's out now, go and check it out. If it's not out, wait patiently and then go and check it out.
Yeah, I never know when I'm going to post things.
Me neither.
We'll see.
Anyway, thank you very much for coming on. You know the drill, guys. Like, subscribe, share, and I guess I'll see you next time.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right, see ya.
Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye.